You ever walk into a room and feel the energy shift for no obvious reason? Nobody says anything direct, but someone gets quieter, someone gets a little colder, someone starts over-explaining, someone gives you that strange mix of politeness and tension, and you're left thinking, what was that? Because you didn't come in loud, you didn't try to dominate, you didn't do anything disrespectful, but still, some people seem uncomfortable around you. Let me ask you something early, because I think this is the kind of topic that people feel very personally. Have you ever noticed someone get weirdly awkward, defensive, or distant around you for no clear reason? And what gave it away first? Their tone, their silence, their body language, or the way they changed in front of other people? That question usually brings up a face immediately, because this happens a lot. And most people misunderstand it. They assume, maybe I'm too much, maybe I'm too quiet, maybe I make people nervous, maybe something is wrong with me. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you doing something wrong. Sometimes people get uncomfortable around you because your presence touches something in them they haven't made peace with. That's the deeper layer. And this is where the Carl Jung angle matters. Jung understood that people don't just react to who is standing in front of them. They react to what that person activates inside them. Their insecurity, their envy, their false self, their shame, their comparison, their shadow. So if certain people seem uncomfortable around you, the reason may not be as simple as they don't like you. Sometimes it's more like this. Your presence interrupts something, a story they tell themselves, a role they rely on, a mask they wear, a comfort they've built around staying unconscious. That's what we're getting into. And I want to keep this simple. Not dramatic, not ego-driven, just honest. Here are 7 real reasons people get uncomfortable around you. 1. Your presence makes them feel too seen. This is probably one of the biggest reasons. Some people are totally fine around those who only see the surface. The polite version, the funny version, the socially acceptable version. But the moment they sense that someone is noticing more than they're saying, they start tightening up. You don't even have to call them out. You don't have to expose anything. Sometimes it's just your attention, your stillness, your way of listening, your ability to notice what doesn't match. And suddenly they get uncomfortable. Why? Because a lot of people don't mind being looked at. They mind being seen. There's a difference. Being looked at is social. Being seen feels psychological. If someone is carrying insecurity, dishonesty, hidden envy, self-doubt, or a carefully managed image, your presence can feel exposing, even when you're saying almost nothing. Jung would call this the tension between the persona and the shadow. The persona is the image they want the world to receive. The shadow is everything they don't want to fully admit about themselves. And if your energy makes the shadow feel closer to the surface, discomfort starts showing fast. That's why some people over-explain around you, or get defensive too quickly, or act like you're judging them even when you haven't said much at all. You may just be making them aware of themselves, and not everybody enjoys that feeling. 2. You quietly challenge the role they expected to play around you. This one happens a lot in friendships, work, family, and dating. People unconsciously assign roles. They decide who's more confident, who's easier to influence, who's more emotionally available, who needs approval, who's easier to impress, who's more likely to fold. And when you don't play the role they expected, they get uncomfortable. Maybe they thought you'd chase more, explain more, people please more, need more from them, stay smaller, stay uncertain. And then you didn't. You stayed calm. You held your boundary. You said less. You didn't rush to prove yourself. You didn't panic when they got distant. That changes the emotional structure immediately. Now they can't relax into the position they thought they'd have with you. And people get weird when the role they expected to play is no longer available. Jung would probably say that a lot of relationships are built around unconscious arrangements. One person feels stronger, the other feels more dependent. One person leads, the other follows. One person gets to feel needed, the other gets to need. When you quietly refuse the role they had prepared for you, their discomfort often rises before their awareness does. That's why sometimes people get uneasy, not because you did something offensive, but because you disrupted the version of reality they were planning to live inside with you. 3. Your calmness makes their inner chaos louder. This one is powerful because it's so subtle. A calm person is not always comforting to everybody. To healthy people, calm can feel safe. To chaotic people, calm can feel threatening. Why? Because calm creates contrast. If someone is internally noisy, insecure, anxious, performative, manipulative, scattered, your steadiness makes their own state more obvious. They feel themselves more around you. Their restlessness, their overthinking, their need to control the vibe, their dependence on stimulation. And if they're not used to sitting with themselves, that can create immediate discomfort. Jung understood that unconscious material gets louder in the presence of consciousness. So if your energy is more grounded, more observant, more self-contained, certain people don't just meet you, they meet themselves more clearly in your presence. That's why they may start talking too much, filling the silence, making odd jokes, acting a little too casual, becoming strangely defensive. Your calm didn't attack them, it removed some of their distractions. And for people who survive through distraction, that feels intense. So if you've ever been told you're intimidating when you were really just composed, this may be part of it. Sometimes people are not reacting to your intensity. They're reacting to the fact that your steadiness makes their instability harder to ignore. 4. Your self-respect blocks the usual access points. A lot of people are comfortable around those they can read easily and influence easily. People who explain too much. People who bend too fast. People who can be guilted. People who need to be liked. People who can be pulled into fixing the emotional atmosphere. But when someone has real self-respect, those old access points disappear. Now they can't rush you as easily, can't confuse you as easily, can't emotionally pull you into every little thing, can't get constant reassurance from you. That makes some people deeply uncomfortable, not because self-respect is rude, because self-respect limits access. And a lot of people only feel relaxed when they have more access to you than they've actually earned. Jung might say that people who lack inner authority often seek control outside themselves, not always in obvious ways, sometimes through guilt, sometimes through neediness, sometimes through making you feel responsible for their comfort. So when your presence says, "I'm not available for that," they feel the loss immediately. They may call you cold, hard to read, too serious, too distant. But what they're often reacting to is much simpler. They cannot move you the way they move other people. That creates discomfort fast. And it's one of the clearest signs that your presence is challenging something deeper than surface-level personality. 5. Your growth forces them to confront where they are stagnant. This one gets very real with old friends, family, co-workers, and people who have known you for a while. As long as you were in a familiar position, the relationship felt stable. But once you started growing, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, certain people started getting strange. Not openly hateful, just less warm, less enthusiastic, less open. Why? Because your growth created contrast. Now they're not just seeing you. They're seeing themselves next to the new version of you. And if they are not evolving, that comparison starts hurting. Jung would say that people often resent what awakens the unlived parts of themselves. If your healing reflects their avoidance, they feel it. If your discipline reflects their excuses, they feel it. If your confidence reflects their self-betrayal, they feel it. That doesn't always turn into open conflict. A lot of the time it turns into subtle discomfort, because they don't want to admit, your life is making me think about my own. So they go quieter, more distant, a little less sincere. Not because your growth is bad, but because it has become a mirror. And not everybody wants to stand in front of a mirror that reflects what they are avoiding. 6. Your authenticity makes their performance harder to maintain. This is one of the most overlooked reasons. Some people are deeply invested in performance. They adapt to every room. They say what works. They shape their personality around approval. They manage how they are perceived all the time. Then they meet someone who feels more real. Someone whose energy and words match more. Someone who isn't constantly performing likability. Someone who doesn't seem desperate to fit every environment perfectly. That can make them very uncomfortable. Why? Because authenticity creates pressure. Not aggressive pressure, just contrast. And contrast exposes effort. Jung believed that the farther a person gets from their deeper self, the more disturbed they may become by people moving closer to theirs. That's what can happen here. Your authenticity reminds them of how much they edit themselves, how much they perform, how much of their life is built around image instead of truth. That realization is painful. And many people don't turn pain into reflection, they turn it into irritation. That's why some people act uncomfortable around those who are simply more natural, more honest, more integrated, not because authenticity is threatening in itself, but because it exposes the cost of pretending. And pretending gets very exhausting when realness is standing right in front of you. 7. Your presence quietly threatens the identity they built on feeling superior. This is probably the bluntest reason. Some people are only comfortable when they feel slightly above others, slightly more attractive, slightly more in control, slightly more desired, slightly more together, slightly more admired, slightly more powerful. That subtle superiority is how they stabilize their own insecurity. So if you show up with confidence, peace, self-respect or depth, it threatens that structure. Not because you're trying to dominate, but because your presence disturbs the emotional ladder they were standing on. Now they can't feel automatically above you. Now they can't settle into the same quiet hierarchy. Now they have to find worth somewhere deeper than comparison. And if they don't have that deeper foundation, they get uncomfortable fast. Jung would likely say that ego structures built on comparison are fragile. They depend on arrangement, not real wholeness. So when your energy disrupts the arrangement, they feel destabilized. That's why some people become dismissive around strong presence, or sarcastic, or a little too eager to humble you, or awkward when others notice you. It's not always personal in the way you think. Sometimes they are simply trying to restore a feeling of superiority that your presence quietly interrupted. And that's a very different thing. What does this really mean? Now, this part matters, because the point here is not to walk around thinking everybody is threatened by you. That becomes ego too. The point is clarity, to understand that not every uncomfortable reaction means you need to become smaller, softer, easier, or more digestible. Sometimes the discomfort really is about what your presence awakens in other people. Their insecurity, their comparison, their false self, their fear of being seen, their dependence on old dynamics. Jung wouldn't want you to inflate yourself because of that. He'd want you to become conscious of it, conscious enough not to personalize every strange shift in tone, conscious enough not to abandon your growth to restore someone else's comfort, conscious enough to understand when people are reacting to you and when they are reacting through you. That distinction saves a lot of emotional energy, because if you don't understand it, You'll spend years apologizing for the effect of your presence on people who were never actually upset by your behavior alone. And that gets exhausting. So what's the real reason people get uncomfortable around you? Usually it's not random. It's because your presence makes them feel too seen, challenges the role they expected to play, makes their inner chaos louder, blocks their usual access points, forces them to confront stagnation, makes their performance feel heavier, or threatens the identity they built on comparison. That's the deeper truth. A lot of people are not reacting to something obvious you did. They're reacting to something your presence stirred up in them, and once you understand that, you stop rushing to fix yourself every time someone else gets strange. You stop dimming your calm, your self-respect, your growth, your authenticity, because not every uncomfortable reaction is a sign you are wrong. Sometimes it's just a sign that your presence is making unconscious things harder to hide. And before I leave you, I want to bring that question back because I think this one will spark a very real comment section. What was the first sign that someone felt uncomfortable around you? Their silence, their defensiveness, their fake niceness, or the way they changed when other people were around? That answer usually says more than people realize. If this spoke to you, comment, "I see the shift now."